media is changing, and what worked last year no longer works this year. So in this video, we are going over what has shifted in 2026 and what's working right now. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Stacy. I've been a social media manager and a strategist for 5 years. It is literally my job to keep up with what's working and what's not working on social media, and I'm giving it all to you for free. And to start it all out, towards the end of last year, I noticed a pattern, especially on Instagram, that honestly worried me, and I really think that this trend is immediately out the window for 2026. So make this change right away with your content if you want to see success this year. And what I'm talking about is everyone started posting the same kind of content. All of the experts were telling us to research viral content in our industry or niche and recreate it or put your own spin on it. People took that literally. It turned into copy and paste scripts, identical hooks, literally copying the video word for word. Just to bring this entire concept home for you, I have a few examples.
There are 3 main hooks that you should be posting.
There are 5 main types of content that you should be posting. How I got my reels from this to this in 30 days.
The problem with this method is that it will get you views, but when everyone is posting the exact same thing, you do not stand out from the crowd. You lose trust and you lose credibility with your audience, thus you lose sales. So how do you stand out? Well, let's dive into our 2026 content strategy. Top creators who are winning on social media right now are instantly recognizable. I'm talking about their brand colors, their fonts, their editing styles. All of this is consistent in all of their content. So the key takeaway here from all of these videos is that people do not need new content ideas. They don't need you to repeat or copy other people's content hoping to get in front of them. They need your perspective. So here's what my exact content strategy is going to look like for 2026. I will be posting at least 1 time per day across all platforms. I am a huge believer that omnipresence is the best way to grow and actually sell your offers. Relying on one platform is just setting yourself up for failure, but if someone is telling you one platform, then you go with your gut. My goal is to post 1 time per day. I would love to post 2 or 3 times per day, but I know that I can at least commit to posting 1 time per day consistently. 40% of my content will be storytelling and relatable point of view content. Don't worry, I'm going to break down each content pillar in detail in just a second, but for right now, I want to break down the post frequency and the amount of content you're posting under each category. 25% of my content will be authority and belief shifting. 20% of it will be for social proof. 10% of it will be education-based, but not basic education that everyone else is sharing. I'm going to go the extra mile and share information that I have personally found based on my own experience rather than something that someone can search on Google or ChatGPT. And then 5% of my content will be soft selling. Starting with problem-aware storytelling content. Like I said, this will be the bulk of my content. To do this, you need to know your audience's pain points and their desires. This is a deep dive into your messaging. If you're not sure what your audience's pain points and desires are, or you don't know how to speak directly to them, I have a free resource in the description all about messaging and how it works for you and how you can customize it. Go ahead and grab that. Again, it's in the description. It also looks like casual, honest, almost like selfie style videos where you're FaceTiming a friend, you're just holding up your camera and talking directly to it. You could be entering it like mid-conversation, but it needs to feel as natural as possible. You want someone to come across your video and be like, wow, she's in my head. She knows exactly what I'm thinking, knows exactly how I'm feeling. This is my girl, right? That is what problem-aware storytelling content is going to do for you. For me, I would say nobody tells you this about being a social media manager. I wish someone told me this before I started selling online. Here's why posting consistently isn't working for you. You'll notice that a lot of these are kind of negative hooks. And again, I said problem-aware storytelling. You need to make people aware of their problem before they're going to know that you are the solution to said problem. Why does this work? It builds an emotional connection. It triggers comments, saves, shares. People trust you when you get in their head and they're like, she knows me, she knows exactly what I'm thinking, she knows exactly how I feel, I want more of this content. And again, like I said, it's the bulk of my content, so I'm going to post this 3 to 4 times per week. Next, we have authority point of view content. This is where you take your audience from trusting you to buying from you. This looks like very clear opinions, calm confidence, not where you're overhyping someone up or you're just sharing information that everyone else is sharing. And I'm teaching without over teaching, kind of like this video here. Examples of this would be unpopular opinions, like me saying viral content is overrated, or my personal opinion is that trending audios don't matter, hashtags don't matter, but Those are things that are going to get people's attention, because my most asked question from my clients when I first onboard them is, okay, what hashtags do I need to use? And I'm just like, wow, why is that? That's literally the first question that comes to mind once I onboard you, is you're wondering, okay, the bread and butter that she's going to give me is the hashtags. It blows my mind that people really care about these things when they really don't matter. So that's something that I would talk on. And then another example is, this is the real reason your content isn't converting. If you want to go into different industries like health and wellness, I could say doing 100 sit-ups a day won't help you get a six-pack, but here's what will. Maybe there's people out there who are doing 100 sit-ups. And again, it's getting in their head and making people think that you know exactly what they're going through, you know exactly what their problem is, and they want to see more of this content. It builds buyer confidence. And this is the type of content that I would post 2 to 3 times per week. All right, number 3 is demonstration or proof-based content. And it's really just you showing the evidence that you know exactly what you're doing. I do this a lot with case studies, sharing screenshots of client results, behind the scenes of my onboarding system. I might do a live call of client acquisitions, things like that. Just really showing your systems, your processes, your real life experiences. People want someone to relate to. They don't want to be talked at. They don't want to be taught to. They want to know what your experience is. And that is the big shift in 2026 from my perspective. Again, here's a few examples. Here's exactly how my content turns into sales. This is how I plan a week of content in 30 minutes. Or let me show you what my actual funnel looks like. And again, my personal examples. Here's my onboarding process. I signed 3 new clients this month. Here's my onboarding process. I would post this type of content 2 to 4 times per week, because not only does it help build authority, but it adds credibility to your content as well. Number 4 is relatable, behind the scenes, or just real life content. This is what's going to be the glue to holding your community together, because we're not just posting to post and gain followers. Follower count is the one metric that matters the absolute least. So we're not focusing on follower count. We are focusing on building a community of people who engage with you, ask you questions, who feel like family, who are constantly coming to your content, binging your content. This is the glue that holds it all together, okay? It keeps people emotionally invested in you. And this looks like filming during your normal life. Vlogs are huge right now, especially on TikTok. Like, I would film a vlog of a day in the life of a freelance social media manager. I might also add to that I'm a stay-at-home mom of 3, because that might even be that much more relatable to my audience. Voiceovers are working extremely well. This is really just like a low production, high honesty level of content, again, with like holding out your phone, acting like you're FaceTiming someone. Last year, I started sharing some of my personal life and my content with my kids and my family, and that is honestly my top performing content over all of my social media marketing advice and educational content. It's my family life that is really building my community. So that is why I added this one in here, because I'm a numbers person, and looking at the metrics from last year, even over the last 3 months, my personal relatable storytelling content is the top performing content. So obviously I'm going to want to double down on that, and it's what's working, and it's going to continue working for 2026. So from my personal experience, I highly recommend throwing this into the mix, doing it 2 to 3 times per week. All right, next is going to be search-based educational content. And this is going to be evergreen content that will be relevant today. It'll be relevant a month from now. It'll be relevant a year from now. It's going to be clear, searchable phrasing. So make sure you're using relevant SEO in your captions, in your descriptions. And a lot of times I'll have my clients put a poll on their stories. Like, every Tuesday we'll do a story poll where it's an ask me anything, and their audience can go into their stories, ask them specific questions. You can even do this with your reels, your carousels, any type of content, and get people to comment their questions. And then you create content answering those questions. It's a great way to actually grow, add credibility, and then make your community feel seen because you're actually responding to them. For me, this would be how to become a social media manager in 2026. I do kind of make this video every year, and it's evergreen to an extent. Like it's going to be relevant today, it's going to be relevant next month, for the next year at least, and then I'll update it. How to price your services as a beginner, how to sell a course without paid ads. And this is stuff that I would throw into the mix 2 to 3 times a week. Lastly, we have soft offer content, which is basically soft selling, meaning you are not trying to be salesy. You're just naturally throwing your offers into the mix. You're framing it as support, not pressure, saying I highly recommend this resource, this course. Paired with a ton of value. Like, what are they going to get out of it? What is the transformation? They do not care about the features. They don't care how many modules there are or the free resources that are included in this paid offer. What are they going to get out of it? What is the transformation? That is how you softly sell. I have a few examples here. Like, if you want a full breakdown of my entire 2026 content strategy, I've got the free course linked in the description. I do not have a free course linked in the description because you're already here. You're welcome. But that is just an example. Or I built this resource because I needed it myself when I first started, and now I have it ready for you. You can go ahead and grab it. It's linked below. That is another great example that just kind of seamlessly flows into your content, into the conversation without directly selling to people. So if there is one thing that I want you to take away from this, it's that we are no longer following viral trends or copying people's content. You are adding your own perspective and your own experience to your content. You need a clear point of view and a recognizable identity. So if you've been feeling stuck, like you can't grow or get out of 200 view jail, you're not broken, you're not shadow banned, you just need to adjust your strategy. And everything that I discussed in this video is broken down in detail in the description. With that, if you want any free resources, like my storytelling framework or my messaging guide, if you need help talking directly to your target audience and hitting on those pain points and those desires, I have all of those linked for you in the description. I will see you there.